understand? Good.
All right. Thank you, Julian. Fernanda. Okay. Yep. I got you.
That was one long question.
No, the question was the last 7 seconds.
It seems somehow or other familiar.
Yes, yes. When she was doing her trainer's training, she was pregnant with her daughter. And her daughter was moving along a lot in her belly, and she was tired. So she stepped out of the training room with which John was teaching. And you saw her out there in the foyer. It's like, "What's up, kid? What are you doing outside?" "Oh, I'm tired. My kid doesn't want to stop." And you put your hand on her belly and you told the child, "You're going to pay attention and learn everything." And now her daughter has 10 and she has incredible focus. So her question, based on the story that she told, is how can we teach young people to be focused, like when they're zombies playing video games, they're totally ultra focused. How can we use that strategy to install it in studies, sports, etc., etc., etc.? Focus, young people.
Well, with the young people, they focus on what gives them pleasure. And when we try to force somebody to learn a musical instrument, and you make them sit down and practice every day, and they hate it, they don't become compulsive about it. That you need to have a strategy that seeks completion. That when you start washing dishes, you should feel better every dish you wash than the dish before it. That playing a scale on the piano should feel good, but playing two should feel better. And that this thing that you build up good feelings as time goes along, that you start out doing something and spin a feeling, and then when you get further along, you spin it faster, and you keep spinning it faster and faster until you achieve completion. So you set a goal, you work a certain amount, and then you stop, and then you start over again. One of the most accomplished magicians I met, I was at his house. I was talking to somebody that lived in the same house. And every time I went over, he was sitting there practicing over and over again these card tricks. And nobody was watching him. He was just doing it over and over and over again. So I walked over and I asked him, I said, how do you get yourself to practice these card tricks? I said, because really they don't serve any function, other than amusing people. And I said, which is well and fine. And he said, I have a movie in my head of how it's supposed to go. And he said, and what I do is I have the movie, I can see what it would look like from the outside. I turn it around and I see what I'm supposed to do on the inside with my hands to achieve it. He goes, I start the movie and I try to keep up with it. And he said, if I fail, if I make a mistake, he goes, I just stop and start over. And I go, does that because it feels bad? And he goes, no. He goes, I want to have it be perfect. And he goes, the closer I get, the better it feels. So he kept practicing and practicing and practicing till he mastered a trick. The minute he mastered a whole trick, he wasn't interested anymore because it didn't give him the good feelings. So he would go, what's next? Now, when you install strategies in kids, you have to teach them to accelerate and not to stop, and not if they make a mistake. I always see kids trying something. They shoot a basketball and it doesn't go in the hoop and they go, oh, crap. That's the wrong response. They should go back, stand in the same place and take another shot and keep doing it until they master that shot. They should be able to visualize the correct arc and just keep striving until they get where they're going. And the closer they get to it going in, if it goes around the rim and doesn't drop in, that should feel better than if they miss the entire headboard. That if you teach kids to strive to get better at things, right, and to ignore their mistakes, when you go to school, they literally take a pencil and mark out every mistake you make every year until you graduate from college. It teaches you to look for what's wrong instead of what you're doing correct. They should mark off all the things you do right, all the words you spell right, so that you focus on doing better rather than avoid making mistakes. This is how you get the strategy that makes successful people.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bandler. Christina from Italy. Where you are, Christina? Okay.
You have to learn to put light in front of you and not behind you. You look like you're about to tell us bad and dirty things that you did at some time in your life.
Do you want me to move?
No, it's all right. It just looks like those things on TV where somebody comes, I was a